Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Lena, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about books and life, but mostly books. And today I am just sharing my TBR for the Halloweekend Readathon. So I've really been looking forward to this readathon, especially because it is focused on reading on the weekends, which for me, as someone with a full-time job, that is when I'm able to do most of my reading. So I'm just excited that people are connecting and things during the days of the week and the hours that I'm available to connect with them. So very exciting. So the Halloweekend Readathon is hosted by Books with Lexi, Michelle's Library, Katrina Brown, Erin Megan, and Sav from Riveting Reads. So they all have amazing YouTube channels and amazing Instagram accounts, so I highly recommend following if you don't already. So I'm just gonna go through the prompts and what my books are that I have picked out for those. The first prompt is a host favorite. This took me like a little bit of time because I wanted to see all of their announcement videos and the different books that were being suggested. One that I have on my shelf that I have not read yet is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I remember seeing this book around last fall and I wasn't really drawn to the cover of it. And then when the paperback came out and it had this beautiful cover, I was like, I'll give it a chance. Seems witchy, but I'm very curious with the spiders and the snake and the tea. And Rachel Harrison has another book coming out, Such Big Teeth, I believe, and it's like a werewolf book. So I am hoping that I really enjoyed this one so that I can look forward to that one as well. A Halloween word in the title. Words that they suggested were night, dead, dark, things like that, anything that had like real Halloween vibes to it. And so I actually ended up choosing The Night Circus. I know that this is not a horror or a thriller, but it definitely has those October magical, mysterious vibes, and I am just about done with this actually at this point because this is the first weekend of the readathon. I'm really glad that I ended up picking it up. The next prompt is your favorite subgenre, and this one I really struggled with. I would say that like my favorite subgenre is probably more of like a creature feature kind of thing because I, as you can probably tell, love Creature from the Black Lagoon. He is my absolute favorite. I saw him on a poster in a Blockbuster when I was 8 years old and it was love, and it has been love ever since. So I think that that's probably my favorite subgenre, but I also love like gothic fiction and things, but I kind of wanted to go with that like monster kind of. Actually decided to do a werewolf story, which is Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. I've heard some really amazing things about this one. I think one of the Goodreads reviews said that this was the most human werewolf story they had ever read, and so I'm very curious, and yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one. Also, this cover I just think is like so, I mean, it just like pulled me right in. I was like, oh yes, that's the one. And then Halloween vibes is the next prompt, and I have A Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny. I know that this book was one that they read for Jade the Libra's book club at some point last year. And so I had picked it up and then I wasn't able to get to it in time. And I think that it is more like funny. I really don't know very much about this at all. But it has some really like silly illustrations in it, and so I'm thinking that this is like a pretty like light reading, I think. I don't think that this is going to be particularly scary, so this will probably be a good one to maybe go to if I am feeling really frightened by something else that I've read. So, and then the last main prompt is a genre blend, and I knew that I wanted to do like a sci-fi horror genre blend because I love science fiction, and so I decided to go with Parasite by Darcy Coates. I almost did Jurassic Park because I have not read the book. I know it's very different than the movie, but I kind of felt like, you know what, that might be a good one to save for winter, so I decided to set that one aside and read Parasite. I know that this one takes place in space, which I love space. Stories that take place in space I think are so fun. My family, we are going as Baby Fox is going to be an astronaut for Halloween, and so Topher is going as like a person who works for NASA, and then I'm going to be an alien, so this is right on theme with our costume plans, which also fits one of the like activity prompts, so fun. And then there are 5 bonus prompts in addition to the 5 main prompts. And so I realized that my bonus ones are like the stack, like the books are much smaller in this stack, so that's kind of interesting. But the first one is a novella, and so I am going to read The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I have not read this, but it's a classic from 1915 about a guy who wakes up one day and he's a bug, I believe. And I haven't read it, but I know that Franz Kafka was a big inspiration for a lot of authors that I do really enjoy reading from. So I am excited to read this and kind of see what has inspired favorite authors in the past. The next one is to read a book by an author that you love, and so I decided to pick up The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. I really, really love Ray Bradbury. The Something Wicked This Way Comes. If you have not read that book, I highly recommend reading it this season. It is chilling. I love it. And it's, you know, a scary carnival circus kind of situation. There is a beautiful relationship between a father and son in it. I just really, really loved that book. I'm hoping that I have time to reread it again this season. So I thought, why not pick up this one, which is I believe this is middle grade. So I am excited to read something by Ray Bradbury that is geared towards a younger audience. His writing is so beautiful, but sometimes I can get kind of lost in the poetry of it. And so, I don't know, I'm just curious to see what this reading experience is like. The next bonus prompt is an author that is new to you. For me, that's actually T. Kingfisher. I have not read anything by T. Kingfisher yet. And What Moves the Dead has been on my, radar for quite some time. I actually pre-ordered it, which I feel like is pretty ballsy for an author that I've never read before, but this cover is amazing. The fact that it is based on an Edgar Allan Poe story. I just wanted to experience this right away and early on after its release. So that is my author that is new to me. The next bonus prompt is Halloween colors on the cover, and I'm not sure that this counts, but I'm saying that it counts. But that is Carmilla. This is another classic, of course. This was written before Dracula, and I've wanted to read it for a long time, and I feel like the red and the black has a very Halloween gothic vibe. But I also had set aside Pumpkinheads for this prompt. I love a graphic novel, and this has orange on the cover, So I'm kind of like seeing when this bonus prompt comes up what I'm in the mood for, and it either way they are like pretty light because this is a graphic novel, this is a novella, so yeah, we'll see. The last prompt is a cover that you love, and I am so excited for this one. It was just released. I had pre-ordered it, so it came last week, but that is Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. I think Katrina had gotten an arc of this and had read it, and she said to give it a try, but it is about, I think, the ghost of a mother-in-law, which I'm divorced and had a tricky relationship with my previous mother-in-law. So I was like, what? Oh my gosh, yeah. Like this story like called out to me right away. So I am really excited to read this one. And this cover I just think is so gorgeous. Like I am such a sucker for like vintage horror. Like I love any of the like I love The Blob, I love Creature from the Black Lagoon, I love all of the Universal monsters, I love The Fly, like all of those classic old-timey horror films I adore. And so like I feel like the look of this, like she looks like she's from like The Birds or something. So I'm really, really excited about this one. So those are the books that I have picked out for this readathon this month. If you are also joining in on the Halloweekend Readathon, I would love to see what you are reading. If any of these are the same, if you're reading them as well. And I want to know what your experience is like, because I know for me, I make these TBRs and then a lot of times I have a hard time sticking to them. I like switch things out like all the time. Like The Night Circus was not on my original list, and so the first book that I've read has already been, you know, different than the original TBR that I was thinking. So I'd love to know how that's going for you. I am looking forward to connecting with all of you throughout the month of October.